Hey guys, today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, video, and how do you film it for your business. So let's get into it. Video is one of those really big hot ticket items that everyone wants to know about, but everyone is afraid of. But why? It seems like it's a lot of work. It seems complicated, but it's not. And today I'm just going to give you some of the very core basics that can help you get started on your video journey. It's not hard. It doesn't have to cost a lot to get started, but you can do it. First of all, you could just film something from your camera. It can be dorky, it can be complete, it can be without any kind of real content to it, and people love it. So if you're finding some weird creature out in your front yard, pull out your camera, battle it on camera, it'll be awesome. Or just a unique feature that you find in a home while you're out traveling. Those kind of things are great for just edible content on social media. It's completely organic and you can't intend to do it. You just stumble upon it. But more people are curious about the produced videos, and that's what I'm going to dive in more in depth today. And it's just a basic outline, guys. The first thing you start with is going to be your content. And what I always recommend is find something that you feel passionate about for that day. Now, if you're a very structured person, you may want to have a full list of your production videos and what you're going to cover and the content within that. But for most people, what comes across the best is just what they like the most. So if there is a topic that you've run into with one of your clients, if it's a conversation you've had with your lender, by all means, if you feel inspired to have that conversation in person, you should feel inspired to have it on camera. So the way you do those kind of topics is one of two. You can either choose an impromptu style, which is the style I like most of the time. As long as you don't have to adhere to a strict guideline of content, just develop 3 to 5 points that you want to cover in this video. I'm going to attach an image of what my outline looks like because that's typically how I structure these Monday Motivation Morning videos. I just have a general outline of content. I know the content well enough that I don't have to have a complete script. So it's very easy to put that together, and then I just follow my main points. So the other option, of course, is going to be scripting. These are very simple and they're not as hard as you think. You don't necessarily have to come up with the content yourself because there are all sorts of resources and articles that we give you access to that you can read through, turn it into a quick video just by putting it into a teleprompter app on your phone. And the glory of this is that when you're reading your script, it's actually keeping your eyes very, very close to the camera, so it actually helps you have better eye contact in your video. So that's a big perk. But point number 2, you have to find a good environment. That's probably giving a lot of people anxiety if you're like, where should I film? How should I film this? I don't have a good space set up for this. Guys, all it takes is a closet and some good lighting. Those are really the main things. I do have my office, which is about a 10 by 11 space. I usually like to film in my home because I can control the sound better. But the problem with having a bigger space is the amount of echo that you get in the room. And that can create audio problems, which are not usually an issue unless you're trying to do something that is super high quality. So don't give it too much thought unless you're trying to produce a very specific type of video. And if you need help with that, let me know. But a lot of people and a lot of professional podcasters will actually film or record in a closet for the sake of audio sound. Because it's a smaller environment, it's easier to control, and you can even sound deaden it like you wouldn't be able to in a larger office. Backdrops are often a confusing point for most people. Like, what do I have in my backdrop? I got a lot of comments on my backdrop that I have in my office because it is very pretty. I'm very proud of it. I'm not usually very crafty, but you'll notice that I chose a very neutral palette so that whenever I do get in front of the camera, all of my clothing pops, because you do want a certain level of contrast between your body and the background environment so that you stand out. I cannot remember the president. I want to say it was Nixon when he was elected the second time. I'm not a history buff, so don't butcher me if I'm wrong. He got in front of camera, and because his outfit washed out with the background, people thought he looked more sickly, and he lost points in the polls because of it. And I think eventually lost the re-election. Again, I'm not sure if that's the right president, but I know the story is good. But then the last thing we have to talk about is your equipment. And I'll post some pictures. Please forgive the state of my office. You have to get creative whenever you're doing video. So my office, when I film, looks completely different from whenever I'm using it as a workspace, because I have to move lights, I have to move computer screens, I have to make sure everything's out of camera, other than my mic. So you just kind of play with it, and you put your lights up first. I have 3 ring lights and a backdrop light, intentionally, guys. I also have some natural light. Depending on the time of day, I can actually let it in, but I have to change the angle of how I'm filming in order for that to be effective. So I don't often do it. So lights are a big thing. I love when my agent, she's like, "You look like you have flawless makeup on camera." And I was like, yeah, it's just because I have great lighting. And I'm a little washed out right now, and I didn't take the time to play with it so that I'm not. But that makes a huge difference in how you come across on camera. I actually filmed a bunch of videos in the office. I was super excited. I brought someone in from corporate to help me, and I got the content, and it looked awful. And I just, okay, we're gonna have to refilm these, guys, because the situation was not what I needed it to be. Sorry, this video is going a little bit long, but it's a lot of content. And so you have your sound, which this is the Blue Yeti mic, and it's a great podcasting or gaming mic, and I really love it. It's about $100, and it's just been consistent for me. The thing about these mics is they can be multi-directional or single direction. So on the back of the mic, there's actually, let me see if I can show you this. There's the gain, which you want to be as far down as possible, but still make sure there's sound volume. And then there is a multi-directional, and then there's this one that looks like a little Pac-Man. That's the best way to describe it. And you want to make sure that you're turned on the little Pac-Man icon, because what that's going to do is it's going to take the front of the mic, and that's the only area that it's going to record from, instead of from the back of the mic, which you're not going to be able to hear me as well when I turn it this direction. So make sure you're filming with the logo towards your face, and you really want it to be straight on. I turned on the mute button, so that might be why you didn't hear me. But so there's some simple things. You need lights. You need your good mic if you're doing production value equipment, because my phone is further away. But if you're not ready to invest in a mic like this, because they're a little over $100, you can use a set of headphones, the earbuds, and just hide them with your hair if you're a girl, or get a pair of black ones, or people know what the Apple earbuds are, so they're not that turned off by it. It's not a big deal to have those in your video. And they're usually very good quality. So if you're not able to set up a mic, that is a great option to pair them to your phone and use them that way. And then finally, the video that I'm showing you today is coming from my cell phone, from the front camera. So I can actually see myself filming. I can look into the camera lens. I can see how long the video is. And I can even change like my backdrop, change my position in the camera just by looking at my screen while I'm filming. And on my phone, and most phones actually have this feature, you may have to turn it on, I can just do a circle wave and it'll start recording. So I don't actually have to touch the camera screen to start recording. Other ring lights will give you the option to use a clicker, and you download the app and you can start the program so you can be at your desk ready to go. But if for any reason that's more trouble than you want to go to, you can just press the record button, sit down at your desk and start recording, and then just clip out that very introduction. So it's not that difficult, which does bring me to our last thing I wanted to discuss. Editing software. This is the big scary monster that a lot of people are like, I can't edit a video. So they're like, well, I have to do it all in one take, or it has to be perfect. I actually did have an issue. I ran out of space on my phone and I had to clip this video. So you'll kind of see the technique that I'm using in this particular clip to show that and to see that it actually clipped out. But for the editing software, I always recommend Canva to start with. If you've never done any video editing, they've added some really nice features like transitions and motions, and you can split different clips that you're filming on. So there's a lot of really valuable content that will allow you to create videos without getting into a new software. So if you're already using Canva for your business, I do encourage you to start with Canva. For example, the introduction video clips that I made, my promo at the beginning of the video was completely made in Canva. And then because I'm a little bit more of an advanced user, I go over to Adobe Premiere Pro because it allows me a little bit more control over the transitions and how everything flows. And I love that power. So I do use Adobe Premiere Pro. Camtasia is good and inexpensive. Adobe Premiere Pro is like $30 a month. So I get enough use out of it to where it makes sense. But if you're just doing videos on your phone, InShot, InShot is a great app that you can use to quickly edit videos, add music and whatnot to your phone. Another quick tip, if you are wanting to use music in your video and you're concerned about copyright laws and you're posting to YouTube, then there is actually a audio library in YouTube that you can go and get free and clear approved music that you can download to your computer, upload to your video, and you will have no issues, at least at this point in time, because things do change. But it's a pretty solid route to go. So this was a lot. Sorry for the double length video. But again, if you're just getting started in video, find a quiet place to film. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a closet. Get yourself either a script that you really like and use a teleprompter app, or just get yourself an outline and you can walk through the points. Again, that's how I do most of my videos because I am now comfortable talking on camera. And then make sure you have good lighting and sound. Those are really going to make some nicely produced videos. It can be as complicated as an expensive mic to something that's as easygoing as a pair of earbuds. So there's tons and tons of different options. Please send me your videos. I want to see them. Or if you need help creating content for your customers, I'm more than happy to walk you through step by step. I'll be in the video with you just to get started if you want me to, or I'll just coach from behind the scenes. I love video content and I love people seeing be successful. So just give me a call. Oh, and remember, if you have a contract anywhere in the state of Texas, we'd love to handle it for you. Just send it to me and we'll get it processed and on the road. But we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.